do an awful lot of work just to keep up.
Yep.
Drop, spread creep, expand everywhere, attack, disengage, drop again, be everywhere at once.
I didn't mention Nidus.
D- uh, Nidus.
I didn't mention it. I'm not that good with Nidus, to be honest.
So, I mean, what's the best way I can put this without sounding like I'm whining about balance? Is the only way to beat a Protoss player to just completely outplay him?
I mean, you can do cheeses.
Okay.
You can cheese him. You can do timing pushes. You can just make only roaches and engage. But generally, most Protoss are pretty good at ZvP because it doesn't require quite as much skill. Like obviously, it requires some.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't get me wrong.
a good Protoss player is, I mean, you can be a skilled Protoss player, but I think the argument still stands. It's not, in this particular matchup, the Protoss side of things is typically a little bit more forgiving, right?
And we can say this because we're Zerg. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. And there are going to be people there who are going to say, no, no, PvZ's hard. And I've played PvZ a lot myself. And I find it so much easier than ZvP.
Yeah.
So
All right.
I definitely agree with you. It's harder for the Zerg right now, but maybe these changes will do something to adjust it. The new patch ones at least. And I do like the new change for Infestor. And I am kind of enjoying switching up to this Hydra Baneling slash Roach slash whatever in the world I feel like doing.
All right. Let me ask you. Well, actually, let me first ask you to get on BattleNet so I can invite you to this game and we can get ready to
Sure.
hop in.
Sorry about that.
But speaking of patch changes, we're going to see gateway units coming out faster with the next patch.
Yep.
What is that going to change in the way we open?
I was drinking some water. Sorry about that. That's gonna change a lot, obviously. You got to worry about proxy gates so much more. You've got to worry about like you have to make at least some lings hatch first is gonna be so much more vulnerable. I feel like even to just that sort of like one gateway in a forge, like your zealot's gonna get out 5 seconds quicker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just little things like that, and even just some sort of like where are his gates? He has one up front, and he proxied 3, and they're just gateways, and
Yeah.
he's doing a 4 gate that are gateways. I don't get it, but like they can do that now.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting we'll see some of that, and then I expect there'll be a lot of Roach play early game. Like it's sort of just builds where
Yeah.
the Zerg will get like maybe 20 drones and then just nonstop Roach laying.
Okay.
That's gonna be pretty good too, I think.
Well, that's all theory craft and
You bet.
hypothetical stuff right now. For the time being, I think we should probably just go ahead and jump into a game and see. And just see it all kind of in action. Now, I don't know what Future's going to do. I haven't instructed him to do anything. I promise you, he's going to try to beat you, and he's a really good player.
Oh,
So
why would you? Why would you have him try to beat me?
don't pull any punches. Well, the point being, if he sees an opening to do an all in, he's probably going to jump all over it.
Fine with me.
So that you have been warned, and then of course there's the ever-present fact that every pro that's ever been on the show, except for Cats, has lost the game.
I haven't.
You haven't yet.
Yep.
Not to take anything away from you. Cats has only
That's
been
okay.
on once.
I've only been once too. No, I've been on. Oh, I have
Twice.
lost. Never mind. I can't say that. I have lost.
Who did you
Dang.
lose to?
Hydra.
Oh yeah, and me. You lost to me.
I did lose to you too. Wow, darn.
So there you go. There you
Silly
go.
me. Silly me.
All right. Future says 20 seconds.
Sure. No rush.
Dang man.
It's been a while.
Ah, cutting my legs out from under me.
I'm sorry. I wouldn't have said it. I was thinking back just a second, like, have I? No, I was doing really well in Mr. Bitter's show, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I lost.
It's okay. We always forget those negative memories. So, and how could I forget? I guess it's because you beat me in the first 2 games, and so I managed to win the consolation match. You probably threw it.
No, not at all. It was a good game.
All right, so here we go. ZvP Metalopolis, MLG Metalopolis, I should add. So no close spawn.
Okay, good to know.
Now the first thing I'm going to ask you, you've got a very healthy reputation as somebody that likes to put on early pressure with Zerglings, kill that first Zealot, and get into his base and be annoying. Is that something we're going to see right now?
I can if you'd like me to. I alternate. I really don't care. I like both builds. I like having just a little bit of early pressure just to see what's going on with those lings.
Mhm.
Metal depends. Like if we're really far positions, I probably wouldn't do it. Like if
Okay.
this was a serious tournament match, I probably wouldn't. If we're close by air though, probably would do it. So positioning matters a lot, and realistically, it's not bad either way, but it can get you a little bit behind
Yeah.
if they hold it off perfectly.
All right. Well,
Because
it looks. Well, we'll wait and see if you manage to spawn close by air. If you are close by air, what is the timing on that pool to get those lings in there?
okay, well there are multiple ones. Generally, I do something like a 14 gas, 14 pool. That's been my new staple.
Okay.
That's my general. However, we're not close by air. I still can do it, but he's gonna possibly have a sentry out before
Yeah.
I'm
Let's,
ready.
Let's not do that. Let's play it smart.
Okay.
So that opens up option 2, which is going to be.
I still do the same build. I just don't make as many lings.
Gotcha.
I like this build because it gives me very, very early quick map control. I can see everything that's going on with speed lings, as opposed to like worrying about 4 gates. Like 4 gates really dominated me for a long time, especially the ones with no gas. Like
Yeah.
they were hugely popular. Excuse me. So eventually, this build now just lets me scout out if he's going to do that, and hopefully be able to at least defend it a little bit if he is.
Gotcha. And I'm gonna just pull up the production tab and put up the fancy little name bar thingy.
Cool.
I
Cool.
can even make this go away, I think. How do I make that little thing go away? I don't know how.
I don't know.
No, never mind. It's not going to go away. That'd be cool, though. It's alright, I'd rather see your selections and things. Alright. I noticed that you're not spamming at all here in the early game.
Nope. Sometimes I do. Generally, I do not. It's all about keeping your hands not too tired.
Gotcha.
I've got a ways to go still tonight, and if this was a huge tournament map, I might be doing something like that, you know, and just trying to surround stuff, running away drones and whatnot. But like, as is right now, I'm not like in huge spam mode.
Okay, so pylon is down to block. Checking on that probe, making sure he's not looping back to put something else in the way.
Yep.
Hatch is going to go down on 22.
Indeed, indeed. There's the probe. I'm watching it. Okay, it's still running away. Gotta watch those probes, man. They're sneaky.
Sneaky indeed. Second queen being built in the main. This is just typical 14-14. Nothing real fancy.
Yep, nothing fancy at all. Standard opening. Plus, I'm not actually sure if he ran back with the probe, but I'm gonna check that after I go to his front and just kind of poke in.
All right.
Need to see if he's trying to expand or not. He's chrono boosting that gateway too. Looks like I probably could have actually ran up there and done some damage. Not completely sure, but probably could have. Just because of the way his zealot was and the fact that he didn't have a sentry quite yet.
Right. Now you said that if you were going to try to pressure that zealot, you would make more lings. You've made 6 lings anyway. Was that because of the pylon, or is that your standard?
That's my standard. Generally, people won't be able to tell then if I'm doing the pressure or not.
Cool.
So they have to be at least a little bit worried about it. They can't just expand from like 1 gate, you know, with like 1 sentry. If they do, I will generally catch you.
All right. And you're searching for the probe right now.
Yep, that's my general searching time. Generally, I want to leave something on the towers, but just not feeling that worried at the moment. Just a feeling, you know. You know how those are.
I do indeed. And when do we get back on gas?
It's gonna be a while. Like it could be now. Like I'm putting them on now, but generally I want to just get more of a feel of what's going on. To make a 3rd queen. Like talking about it, I've got to figure out my reasons for these things, but I want to see if he's expanding. I can't even see much of anything at this point, so I'm kind of worried. Okay, there's that.
Stalker?
Yep, Stalker and 2 sentries.
A little bit
So interesting.
curious. And you're going to drop a 3rd hatch super fast.
Yep.
Wow, I don't do this ever. And the more I watch good Zergs play, the more I realize that my 3rd is always too late. But this is like so fast.
Yep. Honestly, I'm kind of suspecting something that's out of the ordinary. Okay, well there's his Nexus. So now I know it's what he thinks is normal. I don't know. I know Future from playing him a lot. So like a lot of what I'm doing here is just like I've known Future for a long time. I expect him to play standard.
Right.
He is not a huge fan of DT. DTs is the one thing he might do to me. Like if I have to be worried about one thing right here, this is definitely me being worried about DTs.
All right.
He only has 2 sentries. In fact, I'm just about certain of DTs now, and I'm kind of worried because I don't have anything to block my ramp with. So like I'm even gonna be like really really defensive of DTs here. I'm gonna start getting my lair, making sure I'm blocking my ramp because I don't want him to get in no matter what. Throwing down just a few little spore crawlers in each area.
And this is based on a read of the player, not of the game itself.
Both kind of. There were only 2 sentries, which is a huge worrisome thing. The fact that though he made that hallucinated phoenix is actually a pretty big tell that he's not doing it though.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. You've been droning really hard during all this. You haven't made a single unit past those first couple links. Oh no, there's some links. I lied.
Yep, I have some links.
And there's all the sentries.
Yep.
And your third is up. And I'm still just kind of blown away by how fast this third is. Now the question I have next
Sure.
is how much farther are you going to take these drones? You're going up to 60 drones now.
I kind of like my drones.
Most Zergs do.
At this point, I'm about to stop. I just need to get enough gas. And I'm actually kind of overdoing it even. I just need to keep putting pressure on though to make sure he doesn't move out just yet. So I really need to have these few up extra right now.
Right.
And then I'm going to start doing that. It's like even right now I'm going to start making lings from that third instead of
Okay.
drones, which I'd probably like to do. But I need burrow and I want burrow movement.
Now,
Those are big things for me.
gateway-centric styles have sort of become in vogue lately. 5-gate, 6-gate, 7-gate, more.
Yeah.
Now, this kind of fast, aggressive expansion is going to be at a major risk to something like that.
Yep.
How do you know he's not doing that?
The Phoenix Scout timing, the whole, like, I kept running in with his units to check his army amount. His army amount basically looks like something, like, not enough heavy units. When I say heavy units, non-heavy units are sentries and somewhat, to some extent, stalkers, because you expect a certain amount of gas used.
Right.
However, if you see zealots, they're, like, the hardest unit possible because they're, like, no help to the Protoss macro. The Protoss would much rather make a gateway than a zealot.
Yeah.
Like if you think that through, it's because of production values, blah, blah, blah. There's absolutely no reason in the entire world that the Protoss would make a Zealot unless he wants to defend or attack. And so based on that is how I make this sort of read.
Okay.
Like how many Zealots, how many things that aren't Zealots.
So at what point, like if you see 2 zealots, are you getting curious? And if you see a third, you're certain?
Something along those lines. Something along those lines. It's not quite it, but it's close.
So on the other hand, if you're talking to a Protoss player, you might say, hey, if you want to psych me out, make a few zealots early.
Yep.
All right. All right. And it looks like Future is just slow playing this big time. It looks like he wants to kind of push out, take his third.
That's my thought at the moment.
This kind of plays into your hand, doesn't it? As you have certainly taken a massive macro advantage. You've got a third base saturated before he's even put his down. Are you just gonna hit like a soft max and go start pushing?
Kind of something like that. This is a big enough map that I can hit 2 areas at once. And I do actually still want more drones. Like it's this weird combination that I like to do. Like I love drones.
That's something,
you've seen me play,
yeah.
so you know how much I love them.
Something I've been meaning to ask you about. You've been recently going up to 85, 90, 100 drones in some games.
Oh yeah, that doesn't bother me at all. Like with my play style, I expect to lose some of them. Like players are smart. They're gonna do DTs. They're gonna do random things that just annoy me continuously. Like a guy who doesn't kill any of the Zerg's economy is gonna lose. Generally, at least a lot of the games. So I kind of expect it. A lot of my play is then just based on getting a whole bunch. And he still hasn't taken his third here, so I'm kind of confused, to be quite honest. I also need to make sure his observer's not right in my army, because I'm going to start dropping units.
Yeah, that's what that overseer was for.
Yep.
All right. And this is making a lot of sense to me. You go up to 90 drones, which is overkill by every standard that has been set to date, right? I mean, players have been saying for months, make 75 drones, make 80 drones, make 85 drones, but no more than that.
Yep, pretty much.
You're turning that on its head. You're saying, I'm going to make 100 drones, and then I'm going to just use that huge economy to force trades to happen, and it doesn't matter if I'm cost effective. I'm just going to lean on Toss until he dies.
Pretty much. Pretty much. I want to, tech up a bit and look like he sees that drop ship's coming. Now he's even going for like he wanted to counter for a second, like he wasn't sure about what he was doing, and then he moved back. that counter sort of thing I wouldn't have any problem with. So I just stood on a bunch of spine crawlers in my natural.